Oven Gogi is wrong. I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Stairs on the sides with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what? What is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side fly. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube and view it for free. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
How are you, dude?
I'm good.
Feels better to wake up after a Heat win. You know what I'm saying, dude? There's just the birds are chirping.
Win.
A nice win. They were lighting it up. I mean, you want to talk about going back to your averages after that stinker. One of the greatest shooting games I've ever seen.
Yep.
It was a beautiful night. The intangible threes were flowing.
Oh, my goodness.
Must have been in honor of.
Well, are we going to consider off night intangible?
No. I was strictly referring to Duncan Robinson and Tyler Herro giving us 24 apiece.
Okay.
Though Davion Mitchell is defender first and Haywood Highsmith is defender first.
Right.
This Davion Mitchell, he's fitting right in.
I you know what? I think when Tyler and Dunks are making their threes, it makes it easier for Haywood Highsmith and Davion Mitchell to take those threes. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because when they're building brick houses, ain't nobody too enthusiastic about shooting.
Do you think that it was in honor of, oh no,
that all the intangibles start making threes?
Gene Hackman died.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nobody.
I would say nobody says Hoosiers like Dunks. Tyler's a little bit different.
Yeah. He had the look going last night. He had the headband. Headband Hero was out last night. Got a new nickname for him.
Marcos.
I don't like it, by the way.
Marcos.
What?
Get it ready.
No.
Go. What is it?
Comes out with this look. All right, he's got the thin black headband. It wasn't like the typical full forehead headband, that like dry fit thing. So he's got the headband looking a little bit like Cobra Ty.
No,
Come on.
Shoot first, no mercy.
Come on.
What do you mean, dude? That's gold. Cobra Ty?
No, it's not.
The headband, the blonde hair.
This is ridiculous. This is so. I mean, there's never been more of a point.
No.
We need an unbiased opinion for sure.
I got unbiased opinions last night. People are like, that's good. That's good.
Really?
Stun
There
Steve.
wasn't nobody saying that except Frog Boy.
Stun Steve liked it.
Oh, he counts.
I don't believe that.
I got receipts.
Cobra Ty so far, I've asked anyone who I've asked personally has liked it, but an unbiased opinion, we got Jay Monte, one of the new people from our Odyssey family, works at the morning show.
What's up, Jay?
Really unbiased to the silly sauce. I asked him what he thought of Cobra Ty, and want to tell him what you think?
I said it was all right. I mean, I don't know.
Get him out of here. Tell the rookie to go take a lap. I ain't interested in his opinion. Guy's been in radio for 3 seconds.
Wow. Hey, I can't believe you're lashing out at new guy.
Tell new guy to hit the bricks. Put the thumbs down for Joe Rose's Twitter account too.
I thought that was a positive review.
Nah, no. Either give me a point or get the hell out of here.
Wait. See, there you go. Now
you think I cut my teeth on Panthers highlights for Jonathan Grunfest to hear to get mouthed off by the young guys?
Hey, now you're trying to strong arm the new guy.
Unless he wants to reconsider.
No, he doesn't want to reconsider.
You don't speak for him.
Yeah,
You do now.
I do not.
Lashed out on him.
Don't let him push you around.
That's a half positive.
He's a bully.
I'm gonna debo this guy off the Adobe
You're
Adobe
a
audition.
bully. You're a bully.
Oh, what are you editing there? Oh, nice. Take it off to wave to infrared. Enjoy cutting that. Nobody knows how to get off of that.
It's F8. Man, it took me so long.
It's a scary thing. Leroy, there's a thing when you're editing sound on Adobe Audition. If you like graze F8, it turns the wavelength into looking like Predator. Like, you ever see like Predator where you're like trying to see through infrared?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll throw you for a loop when you're trying to edit sound.
So you can't have fat fingers while you're editing cuts.
Dade South says Marcos is Mr. Me Froggy.
Point.
He gets a point.
Witcher.
Yeah, look,
That one rolls off the tongue though.
Cobra Ty is going to take off. I'm telling you right
No,
now.
it's not.
Cobra Ty is going to take off.
Cobra Ty a point.
People love snake nicknames. You got Black Mamba. You got the Texas Rattlesnake, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin. People like snake nicknames. Cobra Ty is going to take off.
I like it.
Anyway, Heat win last night. Your final score 131 to 109.
I like the way they put old boy Garden Gnome in like a baby Bjorn and just carry him around and
Trae Young.
and don't let him do nothing.
He had flashbacks of Gabe Vincent last night with Davion Mitchell. He's pineapple. Spo hate. Can I tell you something right now? You know how we perused around a little Trae Young talk.
You're the only one. We didn't. You did.
No.
Stop.
No,
you
that's not true.
did. We did
No,
not.
that's not true. That's not true.
No,
That's not
nobody wants a hobbit on their team. We want length.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not the only one. And second of all, Eric Spoelstra hates him. Like, not personally, but he hates everything his game is about because there was a
chuck up shots.
It's not the chucking up shots. It's the trickery. It's the flopping for fouls that he just can't stand. And he was now he wouldn't challenge, of course, but Leroy was so mad. I think it was Haywood Highsmith who fouled him on the baseline, and he's just like Eric Spoelstra was going after the ref, and he's doing the flop back to the ref the entire time.
Very animated sideline,
dude. He was so animated, and Trae Young's like looking at him, and he's like looking at him, got his palms up. He's like laughing at him because Spo is so upset that Trae Young got a Trae Young call. And even after all these battles that he gets that upset about Trae Young getting fouls like this. And so much so that Chris Quinn had to pull the move. He had to be the holdback coach. Like he was the strength and conditioning guy. He had to go on. He's like, he's got him by the back of the collar. He's like, Spo, calm down. He goes, no. How do you keep falling for Trae Young?
Spo gets angry.
Wait,
dude.
no, that's the reason why I'm laughing is because we confronted him about some of his antics on the sideline, and he looked at us with a straight face and go, I can't recall.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, especially this year.
Oh my God.
You have lost your mind about 5 times on the sidelines this year.
Yep. He's furious.
No, and we can go back years with the 2-second timeout into a game. No! Or you can tell when he calls a timeout and he starts walking onto the floor. Oh, my goodness.
Tears says Tobin is Ralph Macchio.
Doesn't roll off your tongue.
It's not bad.
Although that dude has looked like he was 30 for 45 years.
He really does. He looks good.
Right.
He does look good. Yeah, man. Did I do the headlines, Reed?
No,
you didn't.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock with the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. The Heat will be back at it on Friday when they welcome in the Indiana Pacers. We got a cup rematch tonight. Panthers welcome in the Edmonton Oilers at 7 o'clock. Hear that game right here on 560 WQAM.
Do they start fighting right away?
Good
Oh, no,
question.
Tkachuk's not playing.
Tkachuk's not playing, but they got Sam
But
Bennett. They got
Sam Bennett.
They
Sam
got
Bennett
Greer.
can
They got
hold it down.
Gadjevich. They got plenty of guys. They got new guys who can fight. You know, so we'll see. We got to do your stuff from the combine as well. Marlins, they won in spring training yesterday.
Really?
What?
Look, even the worst teams win at least 60 games.
Couple of bomb skis from Max Acosta, Mark Corley. Don't know them, but they hit home runs.
I was just getting ready to say, who?
I don't know.
You know, Max and Mark. That's what
To
we
the
call it.
max.
Look at that.
Eminem.
Here,
Max Marks the
without thinking too much,
Hmm?
will the Marlins have somebody hit over 25 home runs?
What's that, maybe?
Not out of the possibility. I
I
mean,
mean, you're getting 600 at bats.
I thought you were going to say 300, and maybe that would be Xavier Edwards. I mean, maybe Conine's kid gets on a heater, Norby,
20,
or
25.
yeah, I don't know. It's a big park too.
It
It's a
always
big park.
here's the other problem, and I don't feel this way with any other except Spo and Biggs.
Mm.
But it always seems like when a guy gets too good,
Mm.
he don't never get an opportunity to finish the season.
Oh, because they're trading him.
So if somebody starts off hot, they're like, "Uh-oh, if he keep going at this rate, we're gonna have to pay him some money."
I mean, the only guy they pay on this team is Sandy.
I know. Don't they have to get up to a?
I think so.
I think that the Major League Baseball should require every team to spend a certain amount of money, and if they don't get a part of the share.
It's happened to them before. They've gotten penalized. It happened when they had to pay Josh Johnson and I think Dan Uggla for a year. They gave him like fat 1-year deals because they were so below on the revenue sharing.
Right, but you shouldn't here. And the reason why I say that is not because of the Marlins, but you can't win like that. You can't get money from Major League Baseball and pocket it without investing in your franchise.
Mm.
And so I don't know what the floor has to be. And you know, you can collectively bargain that or the owners can come up with a number. But say if your basement has to be 90 million and you come in at 75, 80, then you shouldn't get any revenue sharing. We're not going to let you pocket your money and then give you additional money because you end up making more money than some of the teams who are actually trying to spend money.
Yeah, I mean they do that.
You can't be rewarded for that.
Yeah, they try and do that, but you know, they don't care. They're shameless, dude. I mean, it is what it is. And finally,
as a Marlins fan, I'm saying this, so this sucks.
yeah,
I just want them to like I mean, if you got to give a baseball player $15 million a year, which is nothing, they hyperventilate and trade the guy.
totally. I mean, like Sandy's not making that much money in comparison to others, like 16.
Right. And they're hyperventilating. How we gonna pay for the lights? How we gonna like that should, to be honest with you.
Like Bruce Sherman walks in at 5 o'clock, goes too early, turn them off.
Right.
He's
Hey,
unplugging things.
weather's
Like,
nice. Open up that roof. We ain't air conditioning everybody up in here.
Because it's 98, Bruce. He goes, it'll be good for him.
recycling ketchup packets.
He said, hey, think about it this way. If it's really hot, people will drink more. We only got 1,200 people here. They drinking anyway.
Very exciting. Also, we have UFC Miami is coming down here. UFC 314. And very excited coming up at 1 o'clock today. We are going to talk to UFC Star co-main event feature. He's fighting Michael Chandler. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, which I'm very excited about.
Aren't you? You're excited because of the accent?
An accent, dude. There's British, and then there's Liverpool British. And let me tell you something. That's a thick accent.
Is that
Like
the difference between like British and Irish?
it's
Because Irish is like
it's not Irish because Irish almost has like a gentleness, I think, to it sometimes. This is like what does he say, Marcos?
I'm a scouser.
I'm a scouser. It's
He's
like
okay.
it's like a ugh, into all the things. Like it's not Scottish. It's somewhere between British and
I
Scottish.
actually thought it was Scottish. It's so strange. It's like, all right, English in America is English, right? But the people who speak in Boston are different than the people who speak in New Orleans. And this like it's just so
it's the Beatles accent. It's like that's where he's from. He's got like the Beatles haircut, and this guy he's legitimately like he's one of the most popular.
The Beatles haircut was like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Bowl cut.
But he's a fascinating guy because this is a big step up for him. He's going to fight Michael Chandler. You know, everybody's wondering, like, is he any good? Or is he just a product because he's a funny talker? You know, people compared him to McGregor, but he's not really McGregor because he's a jiu-jitsu guy. But, like, you can't help but be fascinated by the way that he fights. Right. And then and his thing, though, is, you know, Conor McGregor likes the drugs. This guy, he likes food. He's like Ricky Hatton. So every time he fights at 150, he fights at 155.
But he walks around at 200.
He balloons up, but doesn't matter. He always makes the weight. It's just how he goes. So he enjoys his eating, and then all of a sudden, so you'll see these pictures of him out of camp, and you're like, this guy's never gonna make 155 again, but he does it, and he comes in shredded. I don't know if it's the healthiest way to go about being a professional athlete, but it's fun.
I mean, dude, we used to see it every week. We had to make that weight because Belichick had a weight.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. You didn't want $50 a day a pound.
Jeez, take it easy, Belichick. All right, we'll take a break here on the show. Yeah, Paddy the Baddy coming up in the last hour of today's program. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll take a break and get more into the heat. 15 minutes of heat is next.
again, baby.
Bum, bum. 15 minutes of heat here for you on 560 WQAM, which is brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the number one Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Frog Boy.
Yes.
You have another pair of tickets to give away today?
No, I'm all out.
Oh,
You know what? I just found 2 more.
Wow. Oh, how about that?
Look at me.
Look at you. All right, so we'll give those away. Heat and Timberwolves next Friday at the Kaseya Center.
Yeah.
And, we'll get this thing going. Heat last night beating the Atlanta Hawks soundly. Speaking of soundly, let's unmute Leroy. Beating them soundly yesterday, Leroy, 131 to 109. They shot the lights out yesterday. It was nice to see. Nice to see a good offensive game from your favorite basketball team. Been a while.
Pretty much. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they were able to do some damage in the paint and got a lot of wide open threes. A lot. And they cut down on those damn offensive rebounds that, Clint Capella and the other guy get.
Okongwu.
There it is.
Yeah, they did a great job of that. And the thing is, it was a pretty even game back and forth. And then the Miami Heat really did crank it up defensively, probably midway through that third period, which was nice to see. I got to be honest with you, even
the opposite of third quarter.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was nervous, even still being up 14 going into the fourth quarter. I was like,
of course,
I'm ready to get hurt again.
And you know what? Dear Heat players and organization, do not be mad at us because we feel this way.
Very nervous.
This is what we have seen in all year.
Yep.
That you always, until I didn't turn that game off till with about 3 minutes left. Because I was still, they could go on a heater, make 2 or 3 threes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was like, I don't know. I think it was maybe like another Haywood Highsmith. Oh, it was when Duncan got the free bucket on the other end, and then Kevin Love was booing him for not dunking. He gave him double thumbs down.
He's just a sideshow now.
He really is. He's a kind of a buck.
And you can't even be mad at him.
No,
he's Kevin Love.
He's vibes, baby.
Right.
Haywood Highsmith, of course, for the first time really since the trade, has got real minutes, and he was awesome yesterday. He was getting loose balls. It felt in a lot of ways, too, while the Heat shot well, it felt like there was a lot of second chances. There was a lot of deflections. Just felt like the Heat kind of got back to old school in the mud Heat stuff to slow things down, especially on those second effort things.
The old 50-50 ball.
Yep, the old 50-50 ball. And this was Haywood's one of his finest. But Davion Mitchell did great as well. And a game-recognized game. Here was Haywood Highsmith after the game on Davion's performance.
Nah, I mean, he was making a lot of shots, He's in a good rhythm for sure. Honestly, with the zone and the press, I could feel his presence as well. Obviously I'm used to it. I've been in for a minute, so been trying to coach him a little bit on what we're doing in the zone press, but he was being a bulldog and definitely being a great offensive spark for us.
There you go. That's,
Duarte put on a little weight, huh?
That's not Duarte, dude.
Oh, no?
No, and he's a lot taller than Duarte, too.
Oh.
Can't help yourself. It's really amazing.
Like
just strangers, anybody can get it. He really is. He's like Adrian Broner, the can man. Anybody can get it.
He's giving it up for life.
You know my theory is get them before they get you. You see, like, and it's evident by, look, I show y'all a picture. He zooms in on the toes. See, stuff like that. That's why I know my game always has to be on point because I know somebody is looking around trying to get me.
In fairness, that was a picture of you showing us a dog toy that looked a little bit like you got it from an adult store. So
Yes.
we had to do some examination on the picture, and your toes were just in the crosshairs. It was shrapnel.
No, he goes, what kind of toys? And what are these? Oh, I'm like, I wasn't.
Had to feel good though, just to get a performance. These new guys have been here. The record has been good, even though there's been like decent moments in games. Just to take it to the wire, like I got to feel like that's got to make Mitchell and Wiggins breathe a little bit easier while they're here. Get everybody just feeling better. Now,
Wiggins has been really good on both ends of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
free throw machine too.
Yeah. Yep. You think when one player, so when other guys see that guy being aggressive, that they in turn try to be aggressive, and that is what generates those wide open threes?
Yeah, I think so. Spo was talking a little bit last night about it. He was saying, that's been emphasis, especially for their top three guys, Bam, Tyler, and Wiggins, because it does. Yeah, it opens up those types of things for him. This is what Spo had to say on it.
Really emphasized it with, with those three guys and Bam. Bam being rugged. And I also want to note that Bam was banged up. Coming into this game, and it just shows you how much he wants this, for this group. Put himself out there, and then was a force of nature out there with his physicality and his efforts and his voice, his spirit, all of that. There's probably a lot of guys that would have sat out either for the back or the calf, and he was unquestionably going, and what he felt was a must-win. But we've wanted Wiggs to be more aggressive. It's a different role, not better or worse. It's just what we need. We need him to be a downhill guy. We need him, to put some pressure on the rim and to draw fouls, to control, help us control the game like that. And he's embraced that. And he was a little bit banged up, obviously, with his ankle. And Tyler's just continuing to get better, learning how to make people pay for over-aggressiveness. Like all the really good players know how to do that. And he's gone to study on that, and he's just getting a lot better at it. He's getting the respect now, from the officials, well-deserved, because if you're going to play him that aggressively, you should not be able to in these kind of rules, the way they're set up. And that's helped us quite a bit.
You know what I just heard?
What?
Cobra Ty, dude.
You can't keep forcing it.
I'm not forcing it. Heat Colt says Cobra Ty has a ring to it, growing on me. Good job, good effort, Tobin. It's gonna be a thing, dude. Cobra Ty, but it only works when he has the headband.
Yeah, for sure.
This is not going away.
Come on.
You know you like it.
Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt, dude. Cobra Ty.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna rope you in.
No, you're not.
If anybody else came up with it, you'd love it.
Leroy only watches the combine for the O-line, D-line to fat shame everyone.
That's fair.
No, I like watching the speedsters. And let's be clear. I will not watch 1 minute of the combine because that ain't football.
Unless somebody messes up, then you'll watch that clip relentlessly.
Do what now?
I said, unless somebody messes up and I send it to you on Twitter, like you're going to watch that nonstop.
I mean, who doesn't like a little chuckle?
Especially when a big boy falls down doing the 40. Never not funny. We'll take a break here on the show. Big time matchup tonight at Amerant Bank Arena. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 5-6 DWQAM. Let's get to the road to repeat here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
So we got, of course, a big one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is a cup rematch. The Panthers welcome in the Edmonton Oilers tonight at Amerant Bank Arena. And you know there's going to be a lot of juice to this one, as there was with that fantastic Stanley Cup Final there was last year. Panthers, of course, still dealing with the injury of Matthew Tkachuk. According to George Richards, Sergei Bobrovsky first skating off the ice tonight. So it looks like we got Bob between the pipes tonight after a really nice performance by Spencer Knight and the Baby Cats in Nashville. Now we get to up the ante here for a nice little matchup against a team that, you know, probably got some hard feelings, Leroy. You know, they got that whole
same.
Well, I know
I went through that. We lost to Atlanta, and then the first game of the season was against Atlanta, and we won. And yeah,
it does feel like hockey holds a grudge a little bit more, though. With the key guys, it doesn't feel like that stuff ever goes away. You know.
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, you can. What are you gonna be mad at? Like, the Panthers were tougher than you.
Yeah,
and it showed.
Stupid ass team. I'm real mature there.
Just too nice, eh?
Too nice, eh? They did get the first one this year. Remember, that was a shootout, 6-5. That was a crazy back and forth between them. So looking forward to this one. And of course, you know, I think the juice is going to be in the building for this one. It's going to be nice. The Panthers have dealt with this tournament. It's both teams, Panthers and Heat, going to be home for a bunch of games now. But this one, you got this one tonight. Calgary's always interesting. Tampa's always interesting. So some real some stakes do feel like we're getting revved up for the playoffs. You know, Leroy, it feels like you're hitting that groove here real quick.
Well, I like, and real quick about watching Heat last night, it was good to see them play well at home.
Oh
man,
dude.
The last couple of years, that's been torture. Now, with the Panthers, you go to a Panthers game, you getting your money's worth.
Oh yeah.
Like they're awesome at home. It's a fun atmosphere. So yeah. So the fact that all of your teams that are playing in their regular season are going to be home for a substantial amount of the rest of the season is actually pretty exciting.
The other thing is, as D. Sizzle points out, he hopes that Bennett drops the gloves to fight McDavid. Yeah, you know, I don't think that would be a bad idea.
Somebody's going to come. No,
to show. Here's the thing: you got to show that. All right, the Canada thing is over. I helped your ass. You're welcome. You know, here you were going to be yet again, Connor McDavid on the short end of the stick, and who was there to save you? Sam Bennett, to help the Canadians get to overtime. So now it's time to show where the lines are. I don't think it's a bad idea.
No, but here's the problem. You know, if you touch another team's star, then Hockey UD gonna come over.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm not gonna mess with Barkov.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Okay.
And Tkachuk's not there.
I got you.
Tkachuk's going on podcasts left and right. The Canadian fan is really mad about this, by the way. This is one thing that's really, really funny. They're really furious because Matthew Tkachuk is like going on the Kelsey Brothers podcast and he's going on Fallon. And they're just like, you see, this was our point. All he does is yak. And I would hear you guys on that if, first of all, one, he wasn't a Stanley Cup champion already. Okay. Two, let's not act like you guys won on the up and up. The guy was basically out there playing on a pastrami groin, okay, given everything that he got. So I just think there's just a little too much yak from Canada. I understand why you guys were pissed, okay? You know, with the whole 51 state thing and the tariffs. I get it, okay? You wanted to, this one meant a lot to you. It brought juice to the tournament. But to simply take your ire out on Matthew Tkachuk like that loser, Brad Marchand, who basically we call him red carpet. The reason we call him red carpet is we walk all over him to get to the Stanley Cup Final every year. And this guy has the audacity to go like, Matthew Tkachuk talks too much. Yeah, he does. But you want to know something? Why don't you act like he's not a winner as well? And that's the thing that I find hilarious about it. You know, if this was like Brady's talking too much, okay, we could talk. All right, fine. The Ottawa Senators would be done. But you're gonna sit here and talk about Matthew Tkachuk like that? It really is. And here's the other thing, dum-dums. Okay, let me just spell it for you. Canada, all respect, you have been hogging this sport for decades. And anytime a non-traditional market, even though we've been around for 30 years, anytime a non-traditional market dominates, which is what we're doing, you guys feel some type of way about it because it's your sport. It's always going to be your sport. But you haven't won the Stanley Cup in years, dude. Okay? That thing has more salt water on it than it does snow with the amount of time it's spent in the Sunshine State the last 10 years. Doesn't even remember what Canada is like.
When you complain about stuff like that, you're whining.
That's right. They're whining, dude.
They're whining.
It's just whine. It's just whine. Which is like you should be able to understand this because I get on you about this a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Every time your team loses, they're officials. They're this. We can't get a break. You're like, yeah.
Well, I take my lead from Spo. If Spo's mad at the officials, I'm allowed to be mad at the officials.
No. No.
I just can say it publicly.
No. You also tend to, every time your team loses, talk about all the other stuff. Kind of like what the Canadians are doing right now.
All right, but like enough of them already. Like we get it. You guys love your sport. Congratulations.
And here's the great thing about it. Ain't nothing you could do about it now. Too late. Move on. Somebody said basketball was also invented by a Canadian. Is Gene Hackman Canadian?
I don't know. Is Gene Hackman Canadian?
No.
You sure about that? Canadian.
No.
Nah, I made it up.
I know you made it up. Gene Hackman? Listen, I've been through Canada. There ain't no Hackmans in Canada.
He was born in San Bernardino, California.
That sounds about right.
95 is a good run.
Huh?
It's a good run, 95 years old.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the details. Okay, I don't want to go over it, but it's just like him, his wife, his dog. What's going on here? You know? I mean,
the dog died too?
Yeah, I know. It's just strange. They all were, which it could be either the most peaceful thing ever, which is like, all right, everyone's like, we're just gonna go.
So they just, what are you suspecting? Tap machine by the Hackmans? They just all were just like, we're out.
It's just a strange. It's just a strange thing, you know. 95.
It is a strange thing. 95, I could say, oh, okay, but then you talking about everybody.
To me, that says it was a gas leak.
Ooh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Wait,
yeah, that makes sense.
Can I just say this? They must have been asleep because if you ever smell gas in your house, you smell it right away.
It says, the headline is family suspects carbon monoxide poisoning.
Now that's different. Carbon monoxide is different than gas. You can't.
Undetectable.
Yes, correct.
Pretty chill. You know, pretty chill. You had to tell me something.
Tobin is a big time complainer.
What?
Oh, complainer, sorry.
Raw child. Tobin is a big time complainer.
Oh, shut up, raw child.
See? Wait a minute. Why are you?
He's also
why are you so aggressive?
Whoa, so he can go on his little computer and go, but I can't say something verbally while I'm doing a radio show?
No, you always do it. We just said that, Waddle. It's undetectable, which means it's odorless. We originally thought somebody said it was a gas leak, and I made my comments about gas. Carbon monoxide is a different animal. Although you do have, do you have carbon monoxide sensors in your house?
I don't think so, dude.
Uh,
Smoke detectors, is that the same thing?
Smoke, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not the same thing.
No, very similar. If you have carbon monoxide, alarm goes off just like if it's
How does carbon monoxide get in your house if not via car?
That's what I thought. I thought it was like the car garage thing.
Because
Is
like
it
the
a
appliances
refri-
are all electrical. There's not the only gas thing that I have is the propane on my grill.
is it through the air conditioning?
Mm.
Did I miss the 30 seconds of Marlins talk for the year? Yep. See you next year, buddy.
We gave a shout out to Max Acosta.
We
The
talked.
2 home runs yesterday.
Just
Marlins
last
actually
night,
won.
you know, just
I
think
mean,
about it.
come on. I love the way people come on, right? And they say, "How come we haven't talked about this?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. We'll start the show over for you, buddy."
Especially if you're on video, you literally can scroll through the show wherever you want.
Yep.
It's right there.
I mean, we probably talk more Marlins baseball than anybody, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that's fair. I would say that's fair. I don't know if they like all the talk, but
Right.
prospects.
Or when you get on a random player for the whole segment.
That Mike
Or
Lowell
2.
bat speed.
Well, I don't know what's funny about that. They don't make him like Mike Lowell anymore.
Okay. Jesus.
No
Last
love
guy to
for-
pull off the hidden ball trick.
No. We found that out 2013. I think it was someone else.
Nah, they didn't do it.
Okay,
Not like Mike Lowell and Todd Jones, dude. They pulled that off to perfection.
Yeah.
No love for Roberta Flack. Hey, do y'all even know who that is?
Who?
I don't.
She is the OG of Killing Me Softly.
Oh.
She's the original.
Did she also pass away?
I don't know. I'm guessing maybe she did.
Yeah, like 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Tobin is Roberta Flapjack.
Love a flapjack, dude. And I like when pancakes are referred to as flapjacks.
No, I don't like pancakes.
I haven't heard that in a very long
All right.
time.
Well, that's
Too
okay.
bready.
Let's just go to break.
But I do like a good waffle. Crunchy on the outside.
We're tired of your food takes.
It's literally the same thing.
Hey,
You gotta
it's
give
not.
the Michelle
Pancakes are not the same as waffles.
Go to break. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Vailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Now two of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We got Paddy the Baddy Pimblett's going to join us in the 1 o'clock hour today. He's going to be in the co-main event at UFC 314 in Miami, taking on Michael Chandler.
his name just suggests what type of accent he's going to have, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll get to that around 1 o'clock today. But let's get the headlines. Brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose for over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock, like the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Miami Dolphins, some newsy news. Some meetings of some top prospects. Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State, telling reporters that he met with the Finns. So you got that. Malachi Starks, Georgia Star safety, top safety in the draft. He said, according to David Fronis, that he had a great meeting with the Miami Dolphins.
And that some projected that's who they're going to take.
That was in Mel Kiper's first couple mock drafts, I think, or his first mock draft.
I would like
certainly a need
their first selection to be a little bigger. Think about this. The better you are up front, the more you can get away with in the secondary. But if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, then you can have Pro Bowlers at safety and corner, and it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I gotcha. But I mean, if he's the best, like at what point do you make the decision if a guy is like the best player and there's a run on certain guys?
Right. This is the biggest issue with the draft. And there's a lot of people that say never draft out of need, because you're not necessarily getting the best at that pick. So say if there was an offensive lineman that rated out to be late first round, second round pick, and you need an offensive lineman, you shouldn't take him at 13. You see what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of teams fall for. And it especially happens at the quarterback position. You take the highest rated quarterback, and it might just be the best rated for that draft.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, especially if you get, like, if this Tyler Warren is Brock Bowers 2.0, even with having a Jonnu Smith, like, I don't know. Like, it's.
But that just seems like, yeah, that too much.
Is
like
it?
You just had a guy who just had a career year.
Broke your records.
A Pro Bowler, right? You have all these other needs. If it gets to the point and that guy's available, then you trade the pick. Because we're good as having two of those tight ends if you don't have an offensive line that can protect Tua.
I get you.
Okay.
I get you. But well, look, it does feel like a team probably like outside of taking wide receiver and quarterback, like there's a place they could, I guess linebacker they're better off, but like they're in a spot where
you need O-line,
they could feel
D-line, secondary, and a running back.
Yep.
And so but the way it sucks, because like what happens if you get into the draft and fans don't understand this, right? Because Mel Kiper will say X player is best available at that position. But it doesn't mean he's the best available in the draft. And so just because you need him doesn't mean you should pick him 15 spots higher than his grade. And I think that's where, that's where sometimes people look at success or failure. Because after the draft, all of the talking heads will say, they really needed offensive line help and they didn't draft, they didn't draft so-and-so in the first round. And I'm like, maybe they didn't grade him that high.
So this was a funny story. We had reporter beef yesterday at the Combine.
Reporter beef?
Wait.
Reporter beef.
Hold on. This is only exciting. This is only exciting. Who are the two reporters?
Ian Rapoport of NFL Network was, according to sources, verbally accosted by Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz at a Starbucks in Indianapolis over the Tom Brady Matthew Stafford report. Apparently, I guess Ian Rapoport, he poo-pooed a report from Schultz that said that Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford met at a ski resort in Montana. And Ian Rapoport was trying to claim that this was a coincidence. Oh, it just happened to happen. And Schultz is like, if you think that's a coincidence, I got a bridge to sell you. Like, of course they're meeting because, Raiders need a quarterback.
Wait,
Matthew Stafford's searching for a new deal.
Can they even talk to people at this moment? Is that not?
The Rams gave permission.
Okay.
The Rams gave permission over the weekend to talk to teams, go look for a deal. He wants to get that munion. He wants a big bump.
Well, here's the kicker. He wants that money, but he don't want to get his ass kicked for the next 2 years. So, like, you kind of, he might not get the most out of it, right, that he wants, but he can pick and choose his situation. Who says his dad was the CEO of Starbucks?
Jordan Schultz's dad was the CEO of Starbucks.
Mm.
Do you think that means he gets free Starbucks for life?
You think he gets a gold card?
Yeah, dude. All the caramel mochayatos you want.
I'm sorry, the what?
Caramel mochayatos. All right.
Isn't it macchiato?
Whatever, dude.
Okay.
It ain't mochayato.
As a coffee guy.
Hey, but how
now,
did you
so-
say the first word?
He said mochayato.
Yeah, the first one.
Caramel.
No, that's
I
not.
don't like that.
What,
That's
you guys say caramel?
I say caramel.
Oh, you're not hoity-toity. You're goth. I'm not going to sit here and listen to pronunciations up from you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Are the
You listen to bands named Batwing. Like, I mean, what are you talking about?
By the way, Tobin,
What?
you have done a boatload
of lashing
out today.
You guys are hold on. I've been counterpunching. Everybody's coming at me first. Hold on, dude. Hold on. First of all, we got Rookie McGee over here trying to quibble over giving me a point, which I hope you made him go take a lap.
Yeah,
These guys are lucky that I'm not there. I would have hazed the holy hell out of him today. Secondly, you got Rawchild over here being like, oh, he complains too much. When Canada came at us first, I was defending America. Okay. Then you have hoity-toity Jennifer over here, who all of a sudden has put aside the death music because she likes a little foam on her cappuccino, and I'm saying caramel. Wrong, according to her. Ridiculous.
Why are you adding stuff? Okay, I
am merely defending myself. I am sitting here in the corner getting beat up.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know about that.
You've been very aggressive this morning.
Nope.
Leroy did something too.
What?
I don't remember what, but
He did say something about it.
yeah.
What
look
about
at that.
you? What have you done?
I'm honestly just the angel of this show. I never really do
You
anything
thought.
bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? We just discussed you. I'm showing you a picture of my dog with his toy, and you zooming in on my feet.
And you bullied a two-way player for tearing his Achilles.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, it's not my fault that his toes look like they were avoiding the cootie shot. And if I'm talking about Drew Smith, the only thing that you can really say if you have a pair of eyes is Davion Mitchell is who Drew Smith was supposed to be this entire time.
You know that Davion Mitchell's allowed to be good and Drew Smith is also allowed to be good.
Yeah, but it's not true though.
What do you mean it's not true?
Drew Smith isn't good.
I mean, he got hurt. He was playing well before he got hurt.
Again. Don't forget to say again every time you say you got hurt.
All right. Okay. You see what I mean? Bully. You're not an angel.
Hey, don't try to move. Don't try to pass.
You are no angel yourself, sir.
Right.
Actually, you've been lashing out all week, Tobin.
How so?
You have been very aggressive, and we've had talks.
Who's had talks?
You
three? You've been talking about me?
We've had talks.
We're concerned, dude. We're concerned.
Well, you know, I don't know about you guys, but where I come from, that sounds like ganging up, and I am merely defending myself from 3 bullies.
Really? Where do
Richie? Yeah, Richie Incognito, Mike Pouncey, John Jerry, the 3 of you.
How about this? A guy who you never even met personally, you just hose down and send for laps.
Well, he should have given me a point. I mean, like, you know, you got to show the vet some respect.
No, you know what? He did the right thing. It's all right.
Cobra ties a point, and I'll hear nothing else.
I don't
see. Bullying. You bullying for a point.
I'm not bullying. You're bullying.
No, I'm not.
Cobra tie is pretty good, though.
There we go.
Thank you.
No,
I mean, just think about it, though. The headband, the blonde hair.
Did he threaten your job again?
It's a cool nickname.
He threatened me via text this time.
Speaking of threatening, this is what it says. Per multiple sources who witnessed the interaction, Jordan Schultz of Fox and Ian Rapoport were engaged in a verbal altercation at a Starbucks at a JW Marriott in Indianapolis. Where the incident came to light when when PFT commenter, I guess the guy from Part of My Take, posted a tweet referring to a serious media big-time confrontation. The fact that it happened at a Starbucks provides an intriguing coincidence. Schultz is the son of former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. We're told Rapoport was talking to an agent. Schultz approached Rapoport and said, quote, "We need to talk." Oh, boy. Rapoport then responds saying, "We don't need to talk." Schultz then made accusations about Rapoport, we're told. Rapoport, we're told, in regards to the accusations, were unfounded. The two men were essentially face-to-face. Quote, "If you have anything to say to me, say it to my bleeping face," Schultz said, or a specific word to that effect. "If this continues, we're going to have a bleeping problem." Rapoport then asked Schultz to step back.
First of all,
punting.
This could not happen to 2 guys who are least likely to get into any altercation. Right? They ain't doing nothing.
But I love the fact that there's okay, like, let's just say this. Schultz reports that Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford definitely met on purpose at this Montana ski lodge, which Tom Brady's not going to Montana for no reason. But Ian Rapoport said Raiders minority owner Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford ran into each other at a ski resort in Montana. The meeting was unplanned and not extensive or in-depth. So he's trying to throw cold water on Schultz's report. I got to say, kind of feels like the NFL is trying to cover something up there. He's the NFL reporter. They're trying to make it seem like it's no bigs. Even if they had permission, we do know there's a sensitive issue going on right now at the NFL, Leroy, and that is in regards to Tom Brady. How much power does he have with the Raiders while also being the lead voice of Fox?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is the NFL being like, whoa. We don't want to make it seem like Tom Brady's pulling strings, even though we all know he's pulling strings. He's Tom Brady and a cheat. So we know Tom Brady is out here pulling strings. It feels to me, I don't mean to insult, but it feels to me like Ian Rapoport is out here carrying water for the league to try and make it seem like Tom Brady didn't mean to have this meeting at a ski lodge. But if Tom Brady were to have a meeting at a ski lodge, that seems something very Tom Brady-like. If he did want to pull strings in the back.
Question.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yep.
If I ran into you in Monaco, right? You think we wouldn't have known we were going to both be there?
Oh, what are you doing here, Leroy? You like skiing? I like skiing.
Right. Right. Now, the other thing is if everybody agreed to them meeting, you always are allowed a little wiggle room to tell how they met. But the fact is, they were both at this ski resort and had words. So however anybody adjusts their story, that is a fact. So what is there really to argue about? Right? There is, the fact of the matter is that Tom Brady talked to what's his name? Matthew Stafford in, what is it, Montana?
Yes.
In Montana. Yes. Did they purposely go there to meet? Who knows? But you can make a whole number of assumptions. But the fact of the matter is, they both had conversations in Montana. So whoever deviates from the story of how or why or how it happened doesn't matter.
The incident was...
It'd be different if somebody said Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady met in Montana and they never did.
Dade South says nothing says intangibles like a ski resort beef. But the beef was not at the ski resort. The beef was at a JW Marriott Starbucks in Indianapolis between two reporters.
Oh, so he was holding that petty on for a minute.
No, he was, I think it happened. No, everybody's at the combine. And so Schultz had this report that Tom Brady
about the report
and Stafford had this secret meeting. Rapoport came out and said, there's no secret meeting. It was a coincidence. So what Schultz said, I'm going to throw this coffee in your face.
Like, yeah. Now, wait. So,
on the record.
So, let me get this straight. A reporter.
Yep.
Whose job is to create all the crap that we hate, right? The story, the backstory, my sources, and all this. You never hear a reporter say, just a coincidence. You'll never hear a reporter say that.
Never.
So the fact that he's saying it, that's the part of this story that is most unbelievable.
Which is why Schultz was pissed, because he's like, you're carrying water for the league because you want to make it seem like Tom Brady's doing nothing.
Now all of a sudden, it's a coincidence. There ain't never been a person in professional sports or writing about professional sports that said, probably a coincidence.
The incident was
the last time.
Here's more from Pro Football Talk. The incident, this is between Schultz and Rapoport. The incident was reported to NFL security, and NFL security has taken statements from multiple witnesses. Rapoport declined to comment on the situation. Schultz told Pro Football Talk via text, quote, it really isn't anything to say. Ian Rapoport and I had a verbal confrontation. It lasted a little over a minute. Multiple agents and reporters were nearby. Rapoport was the one who called security shortly after, but it never escalated further.
Yeah. Coincidence.
Schultz initially disputed the number. No, that's not the coincidence.
I know, but I'm just saying. If you use a phrase, I've never heard a reporter or writer just go, coincidence.
Oops.
Yeah. That in itself is a bad reporting job, is it not?
Schmiethan says, this sounds like when Chris Paul called the cops because the Rockets were entering the locker room. Well, there's only one thing that's left to do. They got to go get Tom Brady and they got to go interview him. Who's telling the truth?
Do you think Jordan Schultz could ban Ian Rapoport from all Starbucks?
Starbucks? That's bad.
Ooh. So what? He's like stuck having to go to like 7-Eleven or Cali Coffee?
Yeah, America runs on Duncan, huh? Enjoy
that, Ian.
Oh, you stay at a hotel with a Starbucks in the lobby, you can't even drink it.
Ian Rapoport has to start. He has a bolo out at every Starbucks.
Yeah.
So
Tobin
can't, like, he got me onto this gruel coffee, so I can't drink any of that other stuff. It's watery.
Latte for Ian Wait a minute. Aren't you mad?
It said, that's not me. We just have the same name, coincidentally.
Ethan Rapoport? Is there an Ethan Rapoport?
Speaking of Matthew Stafford, there was a national take this week on Matthew Stafford and the Miami Dolphins. We'll bring that to you coming up next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQM. Got a great event coming on up. We have tickets to give away to as well. It is Buckets and Bets. WQM invites you to experience every upset buzzer beater and every heart-stopping moment. It's presented by Hard Rock Bet, and it is going on March 20th through the 23rd at Odyssey's Buckets Bet at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. The ultimate college basketball tip-off weekend. Immerse yourself with massive LED screens, beers with your crew, and real-time betting action. VIP tickets and packages are available at Ticketmaster.com. You guys can get all your info at bucketsandbets.com. We'll be doing our shows live out there on Thursday and Friday, and it's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood. And we'll be giving away a pair of tickets before the end of today's program.
Marcos can wave at us on the way to the station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually one of the days I don't know if you know this, but I miss a lot of days. So one of the days I'm gonna have a producer come on in here, and your boy will be live.
I like that. All right. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Frog Boy party.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Jennifer, you're going to have to leave at 3 in the morning.
Look,
Yeah,
you know, for some reason, it's easier for me to go that way than it is this way.
All right.
That doesn't make sense.
In my head, it does. There's less traffic going that way than coming east.
No.
Dude, I had the worst drive from the stadium last night, and it was from the arena last night.
Because all the highways are under construction, right?
But like, dude, it snuck attacked me because it was like, oh, you're going this way, and then it was like construction right in the middle by the Hard Rock on the turnpike. I was like, what? I was stuck there for a half hour. I didn't get home till like 1 a.m. last night. Crazy. What a day.
Unfortunate.
You're going to be taking a lot of trips down there because, you know, they play a boatload of games.
I know. I'm not going back. I'm not going to be there tomorrow or Sunday. I'll be back Monday. My son's got jiu-jitsu on Friday, and then they got football this weekend. But I'll be back Monday in the biggest matchup of them all, the Wizards.
Why exactly? Why?
Well, anybody can go to a Heat Knicks game.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can cover Heat Knicks. I'm going to go to Heat Wizards.
Yeah. Also, the least amount of traffic, probably. Heat Wizards.
People are always like, hey, what are the games you want to go to? The biggest ones? I'm like, no.
No, not at all. No. Makes sense. That's where the real
it's mostly because of I got papa duties, you know. We got a busy weekend.
All right.
We got a busy weekend. So how about this for a take? We got this for a take. Stephen A. Smith talking about the Matthew Stafford thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he thinks if Matthew Stafford would really make an impact, that he thinks the biggest impact Matthew Stafford could make would be with the Miami Dolphins. Here was Stephen A. on First Take.
Hey, which team would Matthew Stafford elevate to a Super Bowl contender?
There's two teams that come to my mind, Shannon. It's the Steelers and it's the Dolphins. I'm going to give most of this to you because the audience needs to hear from you on this, Shay, but I will tell you this. Stafford, you know he's set to make $27 million this year, which is why there's some friction with him and the Rams.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. He deserves $50 million. In today's quarterback market, when I'm looking at some of these quarterbacks that's getting this money, Shannon, let me throw this at you. Dak Prescott, $60 million. Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, all at $55 million. Tua Tagovailoa at $53 million, along with Jared Goff. Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson at $52 million, and Jalen Hurts at $51 million. You damn right Stafford deserves $50 million a year. Even at the age of 37, the brother could still ball. So I would say to you, I look at the Dolphins with Waddle and Hill. I look at the Steelers with what they have. All they need is a quarterback, okay? I would say those two teams, Shannon.
And bless his heart.
Wow.
But let me tell you something. First of all, you're telling me the Miami Dolphins should spend $100 million on a quarterback, right? And by the way, they like their quarterback. Number 2, over the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, what has been their claim to fame?
Cheap.
They're cheap. They usually get rid of a guy before he, gets to that point versus letting him ride out. So
I think in this case,
you're telling me they're gonna give Matthew Stafford $50 million for 2 or 3 years?
I would say, they got to eventually. Here's the thing with the Steelers: they got to spend on somebody eventually. You're gonna keep doing coupon clipping,
but they do. I'm not saying that they don't spend, but what I am saying is that they ain't the type of team to just throw big free agent money out there.
I think the thing with the Dolphins, though, like let's get crazy here for a second. What it would be the Dolphins would be essentially trading Tua to the Rams and then paying Matthew Stafford. Wouldn't that be? Because you're not gonna have both quarterbacks on the roster,
right? But here's the other problem. Okay, one of the biggest concerns for this team is protecting Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Does that go away with Matthew Stafford? Absolutely not. You still got the same problems. You think you fixed quarterback, and quarterback wasn't the problem. So if a team were to do that without acknowledging the fact that this was not our problem last year, our problem was on the lines of scrimmage, then what are you really doing? You're getting everybody excited, but you haven't fixed the problem.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that the argument would be that Matthew Stafford's more durable than Tua. Like, he's only had that one arm injury. For the most part, he's been a very, very durable quarterback. And Tua,
but nobody's durable behind a bad offensive line. Just look around the league.
But I get you. But Tua definitely, like, if you were talking about like who is the least durable quarterback in the league, he's among them.
Yes, agreed.
He's among them.
Not wrong.
I don't know if they're, but I don't think the Dolphins. Like, I don't necessarily agree with Stephen A. Smith just from the standpoint of, I don't think the Dolphins are close even with Matthew Stafford. Like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, like I still think they're a team with a ton of holes. That's
what I'm saying. You would invest a whole bunch of money into fixing what people would deem not even to be a serious problem, right? Like, yeah, you have some problems with injuries, at the quarterback position. But the quarterback position is not why you've been winning and losing been losing games. It's been because your offensive line has been terrible and half your team gets hurt every year.
Wouldn't give you any pause either, because if it's trading with McVay, like that's one of those things too where I'm like, why does he doesn't want to pay this guy and then he wants my guy? Like in that scenario, like
here's the other thing. Tua in a dome.
What about you, Frog Boy? You want Matthew Stafford? He's not mobile.
That's my problem, dude. Not mobile enough. There's only like one guy less mobile than Tua, and it's Matthew Stafford. I'm not even entertaining.
He's got a chooch, though.
There's a couple other guys who can't move.
Got a chooch.
He's got a chooch, though.
Okay.
He does. And he's tough.
Contrary to popular belief, Jameis Winston is not a scrambler.
No, he's not. He's not a scrambler.
Right. Neither, and believe it or not, neither is the Houston quarterback.
No, he's a scrambler. Sometimes he scrambles on which to throw to. Wide receivers or cornerbacks.
Hey, that's a whole nother conversation. Jameis is the only quarterback that I've ever come across. He can play 3 weeks of some of the best quarterbacking you have ever seen, as far as completions, accuracy, yards, and all that. But that 1 week, when he goes south,
some of the comments: replacing Tua will not teach the secondary how to wrap up and tackle.
Thank you.
Josh says Tua didn't get hurt because of the O-line. That's true. He did throw his neck into somebody.
Yep. Okay.
Wade, he says Tua is the problem.
Is he?
That's what Wade says.
Like I would hear, and I have this argument because I don't think people understand the skill set that makes Tua unique. To be able to throw the ball with timing and with accuracy in the middle of the field is something that quarterbacks fear. And Tua is very good at it. That is what separates him from other quarterbacks. Now, if you think that you can get something better, I would caution you on that, because not a lot of quarterbacks possess those skills. They just don't. They do it different ways. So, like, yeah, and again, where does your quarterback need to rank for you to win a Super Bowl? Because for some reason, everybody thinks, oh, we need this guy or this guy or this guy. Well, those guys haven't won Super Bowls either.
No, but they're always the teams that are at the end. Like, it's been the same three guys.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, okay, you complain if your quarterback can't win you a championship. And my whole argument with that was, you get there, you got a chance.
But this guy has won one. I mean, that would be the one thing. This is a guy who does come in with pedigree.
Yeah, no, yes. I'm not. We're talking about just random quarterback. I didn't use any names.
No, I get you.
You know, but there's a lot of quarterbacks who we think are much better than Tua, that if Tua was doing the same things they were doing, you would be complaining about Tua not being able to win the big one. So let's just be clear about that. Like, if Tua was in the same situation as Josh Allen, or was in the same situation as Lamar Jackson, being at great regular seasons, they get to that certain spot and then they can't get over the hump, we'd be saying the same things about Tua that we won't say about those guys.
I just have a hard time believing, too, not even that the Dolphins are in these talks, but I have a hard time believing Stephen Ross is going to allow this regime to make the next decision on the quarterback if it blows up. Right. It's like, it better work out with Tua or it ain't working out with you two.
Right.
That's how it feels.
And that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, I kind of think it should be. It's like, all right, you guys,
because we've heard several years ago that Stephen Ross really liked Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Ross really liked this guy. So, like, the thing that I would say about Stephen Ross, he seems to let his people do their thing.
Take a break, mix things up on the other side.
WQAM.
was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Leroy, you got a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them up at 866-954-MORE.
All right. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it's partly to mostly cloudy here on my side of Florida. Winds are about, I'd say, a little bit more than 10 miles an hour. Seems like they're coming out of it's hard when the cloud looks like southwest, out of the southwest, but it's hard to tell because the clouds aren't moving that much. And I would say it's right around 80 degrees.
How'd you do, Froggy?
Pretty good. He is correct. It is around 82 degrees as of right now. Winds out of the southwest at about 9 miles per hour. Looking at a low of 60 degrees tonight.
All right. Hey, why don't we get to the mixed bag, huh?
Let's do it.
What do we got today, Marcos?
Well, we heard one side of the story in regards to this Matthew Stafford topic. We got to hear Stephen A. Smith, the other person who was that question was directed to. Shannon Sharpe had his opinion as well. We'll give it and finish off that before we move on to the mixed bag.
I like the Miami situation. I really do. But I don't defensively. They need to upgrade defensively. But I like Achane. I like Waddle. I like Tyreek. They have some weapons. But elevate. Woo. Yeah. Not the Steelers. If you make me pick right now, Stephen A., I'm going to say the Dolphins because they have more offensive potential and firepower than the Steelers. But I'm not so sure either team gets elevated that high. But Matthew Stafford is the real deal, and he's better than some of those quarterbacks that you mentioned that's making a lot more money than he is, Stephen A. But that's what's causing the friction. He's like, bro, y'all think I'm going to sit here and play another season and this money ain't got but $5 million guaranteed? Right. And I see all these guys that I know that I'm better than, and they're making $50 million, $55, whatever they're making. Matthew Stafford wants a big raise. Well, I can see him probably getting a 3-year, $50 million extension, $150 million extension.
Hey, Leroy, JB,
Well,
question.
You interrupting some business, dude? Are you all right?
No, you know how you push a button to see who called and then the voicemail starts.
I got you. All right. Listen, I'm not saying Matthew Stafford does or does not deserve to get paid. Certainly, if Kirk Cousins got paid, I don't see any issue with Matthew Stafford getting paid. I just don't see that being with the Miami Dolphins.
Agreed.
But
Agree. I love how they just basically pick two random teams.
The Steelers one makes it. They don't have a quarterback. I mean, I get the Steelers one.
Right, but again, like, how can I put this? I always wonder how that system works with a gunslinger. Right?
I mean, it can't always be Jerome Bettis though, dude. Like, I think if you have him, like you figure it out. Like, you get the tools necessary with Matthew Stafford. What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
Of course, it wouldn't be a mixed bag if, of course, for some reason we didn't bother Leroy with an Aaron Rodgers take.
Ooh, he hates Aaron Rodgers.
Hates Aaron Rodgers.
Hates him, dude. Hates him. But honestly, though, I'm questioning if Leroy hates him as much as new Jets head coach Aaron Glenn may potentially hate
former player. So that's why this is, you know what I mean?
Former player. And also, didn't he coach in Detroit for a little bit? Wasn't he like, isn't that where they picked him from? Defensive cornerbacks coach or something like that?
He was defensive coordinator for the
Lions.
So, fresh off of a tough team, doesn't have time for these ayahuasca taking bums. And he says he's moving on from Aaron Rodgers altogether, even though some players were a bit upset at the idea that the Jets may be looking in a different direction.
I understand the reaction of the players, but I will say this. every decision that me and Mooch make is to win and to win now. So I understand it. But again, listen, this is not going to be the last decision I make, right? That's going to upset some people. And that's okay, right? But as men, we talk about it. We make sure we keep it in house. That we're going to continue to do.
All right.
So that means regardless of how ridiculous our moves are, don't say nothing.
And also the owner didn't. The owner didn't want him there. Like, I mean, that's the other thing. The owner was the owner was so rats off a ship on him too. So it's not even like, you know.
Is it safe to say that Aaron Rodgers' word is welcome?
I agree.
Okay.
Especially if he didn't want to be on Pat McAfee or didn't want to stop being on Pat McAfee.
I mean,
is that has to be a ridiculous, like, of all time contract stipulations.
I mean, it's not that ridiculous though. Like, look, to Rat McAfee's credit, he has one of the biggest sports shows in the world. It's on ESPN every day. And if you're walking through the facility and you're like, you guys made this whole dog and pony show by getting Devontae Adams on the show, half the time he's talking about conspiracy theories and ayahuasca, and you guys suck. Like, if I'm paying him whatever oodles of money, yeah, I can understand that being annoying. You know, like Paul George
less space talk, more football.
Like Paul George finally, basically said, I got to stop podcasting. It's like, oh, thanks. There's 20 games left in the season. You didn't think to do that when you guys were getting your asses kicked and you were 20 games under. Like, yeah, maybe I should take a break from this.
More podcast episodes than wins for Paul George in the Sixers uniform.
Thank you for not leaving me, Aaron.
I think that's ridiculous, though. That's even not that they're asking him. The fact that they even have to ask him to, like, hey, can you calm down with the weird TV appearances?
It does seem like something that if you're a leader on a team and a pro, you should have a good grip on that and say, let me shut this down for a minute. Right. I think that's if there's any situation that bothers people with these podcasts, is that sometimes you have to be more aware of the full situation and what it looks like.
Right.
Because we all care about how things look.
For sure.
And so I think that's why ownership probably came down with, came to that conclusion. Plus, guess what? If you look back on the situation right now, is it safe to say that Aaron Rodgers got a coach fired?
Yeah, it seems.
I'm not saying he was trying to, but I'm saying that with all of the distractions of Aaron Rodgers during the course of that season, right? They played like crap.
Yeah, they play like crap, and it also, it also feels like this owner is terrible.
Well, who's in a tougher spot, the Giants or the Jets?
I think the Giants. Here's the thing with the Giants, though. Like the Giants, whatever you want to say, like their team has done big winning. Like before there was, while there was the internet. Like the Jets. The Jets haven't been to the playoffs longer than anybody else right now. They have that longest route.
I got you.
Punting.
Think about this. The Cleveland Browns have won a playoff game more recently than the Jets.
Yeah. Listen, the Dolphins have the longest drought of no playoff. The Dolphins have made the playoffs. The Jets have been to multiple AFC title games.
Yeah, back to back.
In the time the Dolphins have won a playoff game. So, like, the Dolphins have their own embarrassment, but I'm just saying, comparatively to the Giants, like, I don't think the Giants, like, I think have to laugh at the Jets with even comparing what the franchises are, even with the embarrassment of losing Saquon Barkley.
They didn't lose Saquon Barkley. He didn't
walk.
decide to go somewhere, which makes it worse is you let him walk for nothing.
Crazy.
And he did rush for more yards than any human being during the course of a year. Let's throw that in there too. So while you thought your guy was diminishing, he went on to break an NFL record.
Crazy, man. Give you one good decision here that's easy, though. If you guys need dry cleaning, I'm going to tell you about the best dry cleaning in all of South Florida. That's our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. The owners are, that's our guy, friend of the show. How many of you guys sick of getting bad customer service? You're dealing with robots or AI. You don't have that touch of a family business. Well, A&T Dry Cleaners, Leroy, 40-plus years, owned and run family business, and they have that extra care there for you.
Yep, they have a seamstress on site, and it's ours mother, so you know they have their stuff together. All you have to do is give them a call, 954-610-9383. He'll give you a quote. Let them know what you need done, whether it's clothes for an upcoming party, whether you lost a little weight to start the new year, you need to have some stuff taken in. They take care of all that stuff. They serve all of Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. And again, all you have to do is give Ara a call. They'll even come pick it up. Drop it off. It is the best place to get your clothes taken care of. I got some stuff I need done. I need to get a hold of Ara. I'm going to give him a call at 954-610-9383. And I promise you this. Once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never launder your own clothes again.
And I want to let you guys know, too, one special deal. If you guys mention Tobin and Leroy,
the deal.
25% off your order. Again, 954-610-9383, A&T Dry Cleaners.
Midday Sports
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy back with you here, 560 WQAM. Very excited coming up in about an hour. We will have Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. He is going to be fighting at UFC 314. Marcos is very excited. You very excited, Marcos?
Super excited, dude. Look what I got here. I got photos for Leroy. He's going to love this.
Wow.
Look at that, Leroy.
That's him on the right?
That's the same guy. Months
same
apart.
Guy, dude. Same guy.
Oh, my.
Whatever the 16th month of the year is, all the way to second month.
He gets it going outside of camp. He gets it going outside of camp. But he gets it every time down. Like I was just watching his training footage from this week. He looks great.
Look at that.
Man.
Looks incredible.
Baddy the Baddy.
That's
one of the most
frightening.
And they go, and the crowd gets crazy because, oh, Paddy the Baddy. Oh, Paddy the Bad. It's really Goosies. Like once the crowd, especially the British crowd.
Knocking fools out?
No, he's a submission guy. He's a submission guy.
Ooh, can I just tell you, in MMA, I'd rather get knocked out.
He's kind of one of those guys, like he won. Yeah,
he make you make you be in so much pain. You gotta.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character because like he comes in and he's not a knockout guy, and then everybody's kind of like he had one fight where everybody thought he got like that favorable UFC rub because he was really big star. They want him to work out, and then his last fight against King Green like just choked that dude out, and King Green's no joke. And now he's fighting Michael Chandler, who's a top 10 guy. He's obviously been on the highest of highs, Bellator champion, nearly a UFC champion. So this is his big step up. If he beats Michael Chandler.
Always seems like the fight you go to get your stripes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
Yeah, right now he's like I would say he's like the lightweight gatekeeper. You beat him, then you're off to the races right now.
Seems like
without ever winning the championship himself.
Not at UFC. No, he's won the Bellator championship. He was never UFC. He lost, I think, in 2 attempts. But they were really good fights. He's very entertaining. But that's the thing is like there's never a boring Michael Chandler fight.
It's the thing I hate about fighting is that we don't want a guy to be good. We want him to be entertaining. And sometimes guys don't get the opportunities because they're boring fighters.
It happens, but I would say it maybe takes you some more effort if you're not entertaining. If you're not entertaining, if you have nothing that people want to see, like a guy like Leon Edwards took forever to get the title shot. Bilal Muhammad, that does happen. It does happen, but and again, the fights aren't very exciting. I don't have to tell you.
No, I know. I mean, I like when you tell me who's fighting this weekend. You go. Good fighter.
Happens.
Yep.
Floyd was
like
not
all
the
Floyd
most exciting watch.
Fights. But there's something to being so good that nobody could hit you that is exciting about his fights. Right?
I think the build up, like everybody wanted to see him get knocked out, and he was almost like he was doing it with the he knew already he had the cheat code. No one was going to beat him, and they always like, oh, this guy's going to beat you, and it's like, no, he wasn't.
But I tell you what, he wouldn't do: fight Canelo again.
Nope, he got him at the right time. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. At Doral Volkswagen, choose from over 300 new Volkswagen models in stock with the Tiguan, the Taos, and the Atlas. And remember, when it comes to Volkswagen, the great deals are at Doral Volkswagen. Heat, they blew out the Hawks last night, 131-109. Davion Mitchell had 20 points in his best Heat performance. And then we had Tyler Herro and Duncan Robinson, each with 24 points. Big game from Haywood Highsmith as well. Much needed. The first time they've won in that building in a month. Now, they only had one game in February, but still, a month without winning in that building is a long time.
Yeah.
The last time they won was against the Magic in double overtime in January. So, it felt good to see that. They'll be back in action on Friday against the Indiana Pacers. We got the combine going on right now. Today, defensive linemen and linebackers work out. I saw the press conference is going on for Travis Hunter, and he has a gazillion media members in front of his podium.
I would imagine so.
He has a lot of people who want to talk to him. I see, too, there's a lot of counter on what people think he's going to be. Like people are like, oh no, he's a corner. And then there's others who are like, no, he's a wide receiver. I think like
he runs routes like a cornerback.
Is that good or bad? I don't know. That sounds like an insult.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is that a wide receiver is more technical in their route running, and he gets open, but the technical part of it he gets away with because of his athletic ability. So when they say he's going to be a better corner, that looks more natural to him, is all I'm saying. Can he have plays where he plays some offense? Absolutely. But if you're looking for, a guy that's going to be consistently getting open on the offensive side of the ball, I would say he would have to get a little more technical with, creating space and coming out of breaks and stuff like that. So that's not a knock on him. It's just that you can tell when a DB is playing wide receiver.
If you wanted to do a little of both, what's easier to be the primo position?
I would say it seems like defensive back comes more natural to him.
And so sprinkle in some wide receiver every now and then?
Correct. You can just, when he's playing on offense, you can tell that he also plays defense just based on how he runs routes, right? When you see a wide receiver run routes, how they plant their foot and come out of breaks and stuff like that is very technical to that position. And he doesn't necessarily do it that way. And a lot of the stuff that he had success with is go routes, and he's great. He has great ball skills.
Yeah, he had some
you throw the ball up, he can go get it. And that's, part of the athletic ability that he has. But as far as being technical, you know what I mean? How is he gonna? He usually jams people, but he's never really ever been jammed. And now you have compatible guys that play the position like he does on the other side.
It's a fascinating draft. It really is. It seems like there's a lot of guys.
Because there's a lot of guys. Here's what it is. There's a lot of positions that are very strong in the draft. There are positions that are trying to make a comeback and running back. And then there's positions of need that people are questioning whether they should be graded that highly. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it brings up a lot of discussions and questions because keep in mind, 2 months ago, there was no doubt that Cam and Shedeur Sanders were going to be top 5 picks. And as time has played out, now Abdul Carter, who was never considered a number 1 2 months ago, is now all of a sudden the number 1 pick. Yep. Once a show.
He had like a foot thing?
Yeah. He has a fractured foot. They say he's not going to need surgery. So he'll be able to do some stuff.
All right.
I went to college on the cast.
Drew Rosenhaus is his agent. Says the stress reaction is a non-factor to his draft stock.
It isn't.
Right.
He's not a basketball player. Basketball players and feet. Oof.
Hey, Frog Boy, we want to give away those tickets here?
Yeah, let's give away those tickets, dude.
All right, tell them what you got, dude. What is in your bag today?
2 tickets, 2 a pair, to see the Minnesota Timberwolves and Ant-Man come to town. That is March 7th. And
I get locked up by Davion Mitchell, Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's a Friday.
Locked up, dude.
Yeah.
They don't call him off night for nothing. That means you have an off night, not him. We're back, dude.
We're back. Let's see.
That was a good game, but I'm still nervous.
No lead is safe.
I'm still nervous. Like they play Friday, and I'm still going to be on the edge of my seat because, I mean, think about this. Of the teams in the top 8,
Yep.
have they had the shortest winning streak?
I don't know, but I would imagine. Like they haven't done what Detroit's doing right now, like
Holy
laid off.
smokes.
Detroit killed Boston yesterday.
Yeah.
So what number caller, Froggy?
We are going to combine 4 and 5 because those are the numbers at Davion Mitchell Sports.
I like it.
So caller number 9.
Caller number 9. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy back with you here, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2. Talk to UFC Star Paddy Pimblett around 1 o'clock today, as UFC 314 will be here in a month's time, 2 months' time in April.
When do they come down here? Like a month in advance?
I don't think he's coming. I don't think he is coming that close. I think he said typically he would do 2 weeks, but I think he wants to see a soccer match over there or something like that. I think Liverpool has a big soccer match, so he doesn't want to leave. Which I can understand. Listen, as a follower of the Pinks, now the Pinks would kick Liverpool's ass, but as a follower of the Pinks, you can't just go in and miss the big matches, Leroy.
All right.
The cats, let's get to a little cat talk here, brought to us by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the number 1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the superstar treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Congratulations to Eetu Luostarinen and the Luostarinen family. They have a baby girl. He said, this is from Jameson Olive. It's been a crazy 2 days. Really blessed and really excited. Both baby and mom are doing great, healthy, and happy. Sophia Luostarinen.
Oh, another
Beautiful.
Sophie.
Actual baby cats.
Yep, actual baby cats, dude.
He's young too, right? 23, 24?
Luostarinen, how old is he? 25? Lundell's the super young one.
Lundell. Okay.
I just horribly spelled his name so wrong.
He's 26.
Google was like, who is
26.
this?
But Lundell's the young one.
Well, no, isn't Mackie the younger one?
Nah, Mackie and Lundell are the same age. They're both 22. Paul Maurice said
Mackie looks really young.
Yep. Paul Maurice said on Justin Sortiff's 1-game call-up, he said, quote, his overall game says he's a National Hockey League player. So it's inevitable at some point he'll be a regular. That's some good news.
Sound like some Spo talk right there.
Well,
can I get some run?
In the fairness, the champs are deeper than the Heat right now. So the champs, the young guys gotta earn that time.
Like when the champs say that, you can
understand.
But when you send your only tall guy to Sioux Falls, I might have some questions.
And he says on Matthew Tkachuk, we don't really need to be in a hurry right now because he's not playing this weekend. But they don't have a final diagnosis on it yet. They're still very murky on this. Hockey's very murky, guys.
Yep.
Very murky with their injuries. So that is your cat talk. We will take a break. We come back. We play a little Goosies. No Goosies. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Still got a pair of tickets to give away to Buckets and Bets before the end of today's program. That's going to be going on at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, March 20th through the 23rd. You guys can watch every buzzer beater and heart-stopping moment at Odyssey's Buckets and Bets, March 20th through the 23rd, presented by Hard Rock Bet, as we're transforming the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino into an ultimate college basketball tip-off weekend. You guys can sit there. We're going to be doing our shows live there. It's going to be a great time. There's massive LED screens, beers with your crew, and real-time betting. You guys can get VIP tickets and packages at Ticketmaster.com and get all the info at bucketsandbets.com. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. And terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. And we'll give away those tickets, a pair of tickets, to get somebody in before the end of today's program. We're scheduled to talk to Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, UFC star, who's going to be fighting at UFC 314 in Miami, coming up in about 20 minutes. But first, let's play a little Goosies, No Goosies with our favorite silly goose, Frog Boy.
It is I in the flesh. Guys, ready for topic number 1?
Yup.
Yep.
We lost somebody, guys. We lost someone. And I'd like to take a moment of silence for NBA Central. Okay, moment done. NBA Central is dead. The popular parody NBA account no longer, as it went down yesterday. Who's going to dupe us for all our tricks?
I got on numerous occasions.
What?
You've got a lot of different parody accounts. It's not very hard.
Hey, man. That was wait a minute.
All right.
That was not necessary.
J-Fix got 2 plenty of times.
Not plenty, but and then there was moments where I knew it was fake, but I thought it was really funny, so I sent it anyway.
I don't think so. I think you got.
You've never gotten got?
No.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
No.
Yes, you have.
Perfect record. I'm David Wells, dude. Perfect game.
Okay.
So why is this? Why did it go away? What's going on?
Yeah, right.
Well, this is why I don't have Goosies, because it seemed like the whole thing was a hoax. It was like the 3rd time that this has happened. And what do you know? A mere 7 minutes ago, we're back.
Get out of here.
Every time. Like, so no Goosies. Like, that's what you're not going to fall for a troll account. They have teams in the NBA. The Heat dedicated their win last night to NBA Central. And I'm like, they're going to be back in like a day. Like, this is all wrestling.
Hey.
Who runs this account?
So, wait a minute. Does this count as Marcos getting got?
I don't know. No, because the whole internet got.
Oh, I don't have Goosies. I just don't, because I don't like falling for stuff and then Tobin giving me the look of stupidity. Like, you didn't see that? NBA Central?
I will admit, I think I got charmed one time.
Yeah, don't see it. We know you've gotten got.
Yeah.
Charmed.
Wrong.
And basically, all somebody has to do is mention a name in a trade, and your ass is lit.
Well, I never got during the whole Jimmy Butler thing because I had everybody on notification. So if I didn't get a notification, I knew it wasn't real. If I'm just looking at my Twitter, I'm like, I didn't get a notification about that. That's fake. So no Goosies.
But who did anybody think? Did anybody think Jimmy Butler was going to end up with the Warriors the way that thing started? Remember, it started off, nobody wants him in Golden State.
That's what the word was.
Right.
That's what the word was.
Now everybody's kumbaya.
Best friends. And 6-1. But no Goosies for Central. You're back. What else you got, Marcos?
Liars, dude. I feel lied to about that one. Mike McDaniel.
He's the Dolphins head coach.
Indeed. And as the head coach, he says that he has a better plan to fix the struggling offense. This is via Pro Football Talk. Do you want to hear Mike McDaniel's plan, gentlemen, and Figgy?
Yeah, I'll hear his plan.
Let's hear it. Figgy doesn't seem convinced. She doesn't seem like she wants to hear it.
So what's unique about this offseason is every year that I've been a head coach here, I've had to extrapolate, like, how are people going to defend us?
Yeah.
And now there was enough commonality and consistency through all the different schemes that this is the first off season that you can kind of attack the tape.
This is how they defend the speed motion or whatever. Right.
Well, and just having, there's more uniformity with how people are defending things, like how they're zoning stuff off, how they're getting out of stuff.
Yep.
Defenses are checking based upon formations to. So these things, what was unique about this year, you had, like the year before, you didn't totally know what you're going to see. I think we have a better vision of what that is.
There's some truth to that, but here's where I say no Goosies. Because earlier in the offseason, he talked about how he tried so hard to get the ball out of Tua's hands, there were no downfield stuff, right? So he said that was part of the problem. Now he's saying it's the way the defenses were playing him. So make up your mind.
He lost me at extrapolate. Too big a word.
Yes,
No Goosies.
I agree. Same.
No Goosies.
Big word.
What about you, Froggy?
What'd he say?
It's a big word for me, dog.
Somebody extrapolate. I don't know what that means.
What else you got?
It's gonna be hard for me to get Goosies via Mike McDaniel until some football is played, dude. Because it's just
that's
a
the
lot
other
of
thing.
jumbo.
I always tell Tobin this. The things you hear around draft time, in the off season, it don't matter because ain't nobody playing no damn football.
Well, that doesn't mean there's not action in the streets, Leroy.
Ooh. Street action.
That is, according to our boy Adam Schefter, who got wind of this Ian Rapoport versus Jordan Schultz beef and tweeted out, "Head on a swivel," with a picture of the Starbucks cup.
That's Goosies. It's funny.
Hey, there's nothing better than basically, here's what Adam Schefter is saying. Pay attention to them. Glad it's not me. That's it. That's all he's saying. But it's hilarious. I got the Goosies because I love the way people sit back and watch the carnage of two other people going at it.
Goosies.
And this guy.
What?
This guy.
Oh, sorry, it was clear in my throat. It said you sit back there and you watch your rivals fight. It's hilarious.
Right. Exactly.
What about you, Jennifer?
I would have more Goosies if I had some video footage.
Of the fights?
Of the fight? I'm surprised nobody does. I'm surprised. Right. You know, Jay Glazer probably got some is going to get that CCTV.
I'd be sitting in the corner like.
Like if you're telling me Jay Glazer can get Spygate, but you can't get me the Starbucks in Indianapolis surveillance footage.
What are we doing here?
Skeptical of that. TMZ is going to pay a
Could
boat.
you imagine you just getting a morning cup of Joe
with a show,
and then some guy just comes over at you with some beef? Like I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. Get on away from here.
It's too early. Let me drink my coffee first.
I would tell people, I say, hey,
I'm watching a team.
I say, hey, you can come over here, but when I get to that point, all bets are off. So
that's right.
You come at your own peril.
What about you, Marcos?
I got the Goosies for him making fun of it, but I agree with you guys. I want the tape. Release the tape.
Goosies. Jeez. Wow.
Nothing worse. There's nothing better than two people going at it that ain't gonna fight.
Get out of my face.
Right? Because you know that if that was like in the MMA world, if that was in like two football players, right? It would have been like
it's on
some action.
Swinging helmets.
Two media guys fighting over a story. That in itself is ridiculous. While holding a Starbucks coffee.
Give us one more, Frog Boy.
Final item on the docket today. Travis Kelce says that he listens to Taylor Swift's music and gets depressed. I mean, when he's depressed.
Whoa.
I apologize. Listens to Taylor Swift's music when he's depressed. I apologize. What do you guys think of that, huh? Kelsey?
I think it's Goosies.
All right.
Wow.
Okay. It's Goosies.
No, it's not.
No
because you're leaving things out because he says there's a song for everything.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Yeah, I think he did mention
So he says he likes to find himself in the darkness and then,
listen to Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
When I'm sad, I listen
hold
to sad music.
Hold on.
And then I get out of it.
Isn't it amazing that I listen to a lot of music and the beat and the music catches me and then it bops and then I go from there, right? I ain't trying to get no spiritual meaning or nothing like that out of the damn music. It's entertainment. So now all of a sudden everybody's like, when I'm not feeling
it's not
good,
all of a sudden Leroy, okay?
If I'm not feeling good, I can just turn on Taylor Swift and feel better. Right? No. Entertainment. Entertainment means that when I listen to the music, I'm being entertained and come on.
You've never listened to something, no music's ever given you the feels?
Wow. No soul.
Yeah, one song. And when I tell you the song,
and that's why he's angry and doesn't like it.
No. When I tell you the song, you're gonna know the underlying Rihanna.
That's the only time. So let me get this straight. The only time music has ever moved you is Black Panther 2.
Yeah, because all the other times I'm listening to upbeat, I want to feel good.
You've never listened. Never. You've never felt a little melancholy.
Do you have nothing to be sad about?
Let me think. After further thinking and going over stuff, hell no!
Wow. All right.
I don't know.
Come on. Hey, ain't nobody said when.
Well, have you ever been in a bad mood?
Depressed and down, I turn on the Chronic.
And it's never made you feel better?
I mean, no. I'm like, I turn on music to feel good. It's not like I'm feeling depressed and I say, oh, I better turn on some music so I can feel better.
I mean, like, all right, but like, so, like, what do you listen? You listen to like jock jams, and that's it.
I listen to all music. I listen to all music. I listen to all music. Sometimes if I'm in like a mellow mood, I'll listen to mellower music. Like I'll turn on some Jelly Roll or turn on some who's my other guy?
And you don't think when you listen to Jelly Roll, who has gone through so much in his life?
Half of Jelly Roll's music makes you want to jump out a window. What are you talking about?
Not me.
I am not okay. I barely want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics would make you want to slit your wrists. What are you talking about?
Not me. I do sing along. I'm just like, yeah.
His number one hit right now is about a woman cheating on him. I got nothing but a liar. Leroy's like, makes me feel good.
This is a hit.
What a scoundrel that lady was. What a wench.
I'm listening to I listen to music like that. I'm like, that boy can sing, right?
Nothing compares to Yanni.
Nothing compares to Yanni.
You listen to Yanni, allegedly.
You know what?
Dude, see,
I feel played now. You don't listen to Yanni.
Don't question my music and my music taste or takes, right? Like everybody do music the way they want to do it. Okay. I just said I don't have the Goosies for somebody who say, oh, when I'm down, I just turn on some Taylor Swift. No, it just so happens y'all in a relationship.
That's not true because even before they were in a relationship, he was a fan of her and her music.
Oh no, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift too.
Got to play the long game.
When I'm feeling bad, I'm not going to Taylor Swift for.
I don't even want to talk about this anymore because you're bothering me with your responses.
We got to take a break. We'll take a break.
I'm gonna go listen to Taylor Swift now.
No, I'm not listening to advice from a guy who listens to for love music from Drake.
Now you're lashing out.
It's number one.
He's lashing out. We got to go to break. Back after this.
Crazy, dude.
WQAM Miami, WPOW HD2 Miami, WKIS HD2 Boca Raton, an Odyssey sports station. Home of the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, 5-time national championship winner Miami Hurricanes football, and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Oh, you got the music going. You're trying to suck up here, Marcos. I can already tell. You got the man. He's coming out here. I can already feel it. It's gonna be like Big 3 air again. Oh, Paddy the Bad. Kaseya Center is gonna be rocking when this man comes to the Heat's house. Coming up, the UFC 314. Let's get him on here in the co-main event, but he may be the people's main event, taking on Michael Chandler. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett joining us here on the show. Paddy, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me on. I hope you're all good.
We're good, man. We can't wait to see you in action down here in April for UFC 314. That is going to be an absolute blast. Do you get the Goosies every single time you hear the people chant your name? Like, I imagine that's got to be an unbelievable feeling that never gets old when they start doing the Paddy the Baddy chant.
Yeah, never, ever, ever gets old, and it never will. It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
How long have you did you have an idea that Miami was a possibility? Was this a destination that you had in mind that you potentially wanted to go to, or was this something that came along quickly?
No, this is a show that I wanted to fight on. I've never been to Miami before. I've always wanted to go, so why not fight there? And the fight with Chandler got mentioned in like December, and the card that I wanted to fight on was Miami UFC 314. So when we was discussing it, stuff was like, will it be later? Will it be a different date? I was like, no, I want to fight April 12th in Miami.
Is it like normally? How early do you normally go to a card to like train? Because you're coming down a little bit later for this one. How early do you normally go?
Normally it's about 12 days before. So normally I'll fly. Yeah, normally I'll fly on like the Wednesday, not the week of, the week before. Mm-hmm. This time I'm gonna fly the Thursday because Liverpool, my football team, have a game on the Wednesday night against our city rival.
So wait, you're that hardcore of a sports fan, Paddy, that you're like, I'm not doing that on TV. I have to catch them in person. Yeah. Like, it's that important to you?
Yeah, I have to. Liverpool are going to win the league this year, and I was at the game against Everton the other week when they scored the last minute equaliser and we drew 2-2. So I need to be there in live and in person when we absolutely demolished them at our home ground.
So you would disagree with the statement that Messi and the Pinks at Inter Miami would kill Liverpool?
Who said that, lad? Who said that?
He gave you a look.
I hope when I'm there that there is an Inter Miami game. No, I'd love to go and watch them. Know what I mean? Messi, Busquets, Suarez, who's one of our best players ever.
Here's what I would say: stadium's a little bit smaller.
What do you make of Chandler as an opponent, man? He's obviously been at the the highest of heights in the sport. Like, how do you look at this one as a test against him?
No, every fight's a test, no matter who it is. No, you can't overlook anybody or think that you've already won. I've done that in the past, and I had my worst performance ever against Jared Gordon, who's Chandler's teammate. So I've learned a good lesson from that. You can't ever overlook anybody, because once that cage door shuts, anyone can win. It doesn't matter, but I respect Michael Chandler. You know what I mean? He's coming to the UFC and he's only fought the top of the division. He's only fought killers. And I'm going to come in and prove that I'm another killer that everyone needs to stop underestimating.
Do you feel like, from your standpoint, I'm sure you've been excited to get to this point of taking on a top 10 guy to kind of vault up the rankings, but like you deal with the haters and doubters all the time, like in your performances. Like, how excited are you, just the idea, like, this is your chance now to just kind of show everybody, no, I'm the real deal?
Well, yeah, I already know I'm the real deal. It's just showing people. But at the same time, when I beat Michael Chandler, the goalposts will get moved again. Know what I mean? When I beat Bobby Green before the fight, everyone was like, "Oh, Bobby's gonna knock him out. Paddy's not on that level." And then when I choked him unconscious, everyone was like, "Oh, Bobby's old. Bobby was never gonna win." Know what I mean? So it's gonna be the same. I know when I beat Michael Chandler, everyone would be like, "Oh, Chandler's old. He's only ever won 2 fights in the UFC. Paddy's not that good." So I'm used to it.
Can I just tell you that's what terrifies me about somebody who could choke you out? That's a terrible way to lose. I'd rather, like, if an overhand right gets in and I get knocked out, I can live with that. But to get choked out and have to beg somebody to stop choking me, like, stop. Like, that is the worst way to lose a fight. And so when I see fighters like you, sometimes it's, it's not as free flowing as two people who are in there boxing each other's brains out. But once you get your hooks on somebody, it's night, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, I personally, I'd rather get choked unconscious and go asleep. You know what I mean? You wouldn't
Really?
catch me you wouldn't catch me tapping. I'd just go unconscious and go asleep. I'd definitely rather not get knocked out. No way.
It's also that mentality too. So like, you got to have the mentality, like, just put me to sleep. I'm not tapping out. Like, that in itself is crazy to me. Like the first sign of like, you don't even consider it. Like, no.
The only way I would consider it, obviously, if it's an arm lock where it's going to snap me arm, or a leg lock where it's going to snap me knee. But even then, I'd do my best not to tap. My dog's going nuts in the house here. What are you doing, Len?
We're used to that.
Steps like he's a horse galloping.
What kind of dog is it? What do you got?
He's a Rottweiler cross with an XL Bulldog.
Yeah,
of course.
They don't care.
He's big, and he thinks he's the size of a Chihuahua. Get off me shoe. Just tried to rob me shoe now.
By the way, Paddy, our producer Marcos, who's a huge fan of yours, he's letting us know the day after UFC 314 in April, the Inter Miami is playing Chicago. So you gotta get the hookup with Beckham, man. You gotta get you to the stadium after you beat Michael Chandler.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to get that sorted. You're not wrong. Love to meet one of my heroes when I was a child, Luis Suarez, and obviously Messi, the best player I've ever seen live.
A couple of things in your division I wanted to ask you about, Paddy. Were you surprised at all that Topuria ended up going up to 155? Because there was some talk that this was going to be a title defense against Volkanovski versus at featherweight, and then all of a sudden he's jumping up to your weight class. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I thought he was going to defend. Know what I mean? He's only defended the belt once, and I think it was I know he's knocked a lot of people out, but against Volk had only just recovered from getting head kicked 12 weeks earlier and knocked clean out by Islam. So I think if he fought Volk again, it'd be a different fight. I think he half ran away from Volk. But, you can't really say that because he knocked him out with a punch last year. But I think he knew Volk was going to give him a run for his money. So he thought, no, I'll just vacate and I'll move up. But I don't understand why he's moved up. He's tiny. He's saying he can't make the weight anymore, but he's tiny. He's not even a big featherweight. Never mind big enough for lightweight. If he fights Islam, he'll get manhandled and he'll get submitted. So I don't even understand why he's moved up.
What about, listen, that could be something that you see in the future now that is in your weight class. What do you imagine you do against him?
I think I'm also manhandle him. Know what I mean? Anyone who's ever fought, Tony started to have a boxing match with him, which is just stupid. He's got good boxing. He's got power in his hands. We'll have to see how the power transfers up to 155 because he's fighting bigger men. And if I fought him, I'd just kick him round the cage until I took him down and then submit him.
Do you feel like it was a little bit of a back and forth between you and Dustin Poirier? He said he didn't want to do his last fight against you, but if you beat Michael Chandler, do you feel like, hey, would that pique his interest? Do you think to maybe do a Poirier fight, or no interest from you on that?
No, of course I'm interested in fighting anyone that's ranked above me, and Dustin Poirier's half a legend. I meant no disrespect when I said stuff about Poirier, but I think he took it personally. So you know, if he wants to get beat up, I'd beat him up because I think he's another person who I beat. Like most of the top 5 in my division, they're on the way out. They're getting old, and as you know, this is a young man's sport. I'm just coming into my prime. If when I beat Chandler, I'll probably mention Poirier, mention Charles, mention Ilya, because they're the people above me that I want to fight. And again, I think I beat Dustin Poirier. But I can understand where he's coming from, know what I mean? If he is only having one more fight, then I wouldn't fight me either, because you don't want to finish your career on a loss, and you want to try and get as much money in as you possibly can.
Right.
Patty, we're very excited to see you, man. Come down
Very
here,
excited.
UFC 314, April 12th at the Kaseya Center. Get your tickets. Be there in the building. I'm sure the building's going to be rocking and singing, "Oh, Patty the Bat." It's going to be, I can already see Marcos. He's already vibing to it. Patty, thanks for the time, man. We can't wait.
You know that. See you later.
There you go. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Appreciate him joining the program.
I got to tell you, that dude's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
He's
a scouser.
But I'm telling you, dude, so people say to me about how my mindset had to be to play football, right? And I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, you get hit hard, you hurt yourself, you just get up, you run. Him saying, I'd rather just be choked out to sleep
Yep.
than to be knocked out. I'm like, no, I can't. No.
Thanks again to Paddy Pimblett for showing up on the show, and very much excited to see him in action and seeing what that building is going to be like, react to it. And we'll take a break. More to come here on the show. But before that, if you guys want to go to Buckets and Bets right now, caller number, let's go 7. Caller 7 right now. You are going to win a pair of tickets to Buckets and Bets. Come watch our big college basketball tip-off weekend party at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. You get your tickets now, Ticketmaster.com, VIP packages and all that. You can drink with friends, giant screens, live in-action betting. But if you guys want to go right now, caller number 7 to 305-567-0560. Back with more after this.
WQAM.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let us get to 15 minutes of heat here, brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Thanks again to Paddy Pimblett for joining the program. He was fun.
Great accent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a good accent.
And the way he just talks about like beating people up in that accent, he's like, yeah, if he wants me to beat him up, I will.
So charming.
I'll kick him around the cage.
It's like you can't even. He's too classy. You can't even get mad at him.
Right, like when he said, "No, I'll kick him around the cage."
Yeah, I'll fight anybody who's above me. I don't care.
See, it's fighters like him, right? It's fighters like him that would terrify me because
they're so calm.
He may not knock you out, but he'll bend your arm or leg in a pretzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That's gonna be a fun one. I mean, it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
I will say this: the setup for a person who submits people sometimes takes forever.
Yep.
And that's the part.
And if you don't get them early, it could be challenging because they get all greasy and sweaty. Makes those submissions harder.
Right.
Maybe there's a cut, makes some blood. We'll see. We will see. But Paddy Pimblett coming to UFC 314. Meanwhile, last night in that building, the Heat, they won over the Hawks 131-109. They actually hit shots last night.
Can we use the 20 points for the last game and still get 2 victories?
Some carryover? You want some carryover points?
Yeah. Like, holy smokes. I mean, just to see the amount of threes that went in compared. What did they make? 15 more threes than the last time they played Atlanta? What did they mean? 21 or 22?
I don't remember. A lot to a little.
Right.
I mean, it was ridiculous how much they couldn't hit shot. And it was like Spell made this point last night. It's like, as long as we didn't get open looks last game. But clearly, they had their legs or whatever. It was like a unicorn. I hadn't seen offense like that and felt like forever. Just seeing shots fall. Yeah, it has been forever. Here was Duncan Robinson. He hit 6 of those threes last night. He's good at that. Here's was on their performance.
Okay, not just you, but the entire team. Were these better shots than you got on Monday? Was it something different you guys did, or is it the old make or miss kind of deal?
I don't know if they were necessarily better. I thought we generated some good shots the other day too. But yeah, obviously it's nice to play at home, see him go in. Sometimes somebody makes one, can have a compounding effect. I thought the effort was great, especially H. H was big time. Bam was pretty good too. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough positive things about H. I mean, he just comes in, same mindset every single day. Just ultimate professional with his work, his habits. He's like refreshing to be around in that sense. His number gets called, he goes out there and does his job. So I think you saw from the bench, everybody was fired up to see him have that game because he's put a lot into it behind the scenes.
That was true.
Got to stay moisturized, champ.
Honestly, I was so distracted by Bam, I barely heard Duncan.
God, I wanted to say it. Got to stay moisturized, champ. Moisturization is key.
Was Duncan in that video? I
don't think so.
You guys were just distracted the entire time?
Yes.
Whoa.
Wait, because there's not many people that scored it and then clap. And I'm like, what are we doing?
What's
like
next?
That's like he made the announcement. About to moisturize.
What's next? The LeBron,
chalk it up.
So, I have the attention span of a gnat. And I was listening to Duncan talk about H, and then Bam said something. And then I'm like looking at Bam, and I'm like, is he really moisturizing right now?
Gotta go home. It's like,
just imagine being hugged by those big moisturized arms.
They'll be back in action. Those arms will be back in action tomorrow against the Indiana Pacers.
Perfect.
Oh, goodness.
8 o'clock.
We just interviewed
Moisturizer.
one of the best fighters at UFC.
Yep.
And then we just heard comments from the Heat on one of their best looking victories of the year after Jimmy. And we did what we do.
Yeah. Problem?
Got to it.
We talked about the accent and Bam moisturizing. No disrespect, Dunks. Because, like, soon as Bam starts squirting the moisturizer in his hands, I didn't remember. What did Duncan say?
No, I don't remember.
I mean, he's saying something about H.
Something about H.
So that was big time. Yeah, it was pretty good too.
But what did it say about Haywood? His playing time obviously has been up and down this season, the last few years.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough positive things about H. I mean, he just comes in, same mindset every single day. Just ultimate professional with his work, his habits. He's like refreshing to be around in that sense. You know, his number gets called, he goes out there and does his job. So I think you saw from the bench, everybody was fired up to see him have that game because he's put a lot into it behind the scenes.
I did not see
the second time. Still
even more distracted.
Yes.
No, I actually heard Bam was doing commentary. Like,
I know.
He's like, oh, tell us what, he's like, oh, H has been doing his thing. Oh, yeah, what have they been saying about H? What have they been saying about me?
Yes.
I think he's like, yeah, H comes in, does what he needs to every day. Bam's like, no, he doesn't. He's heckling Duncan during the post.
That's when vibes are back. When there's mocking going on during press scrums. That's when we're having fun, baby.
That's true.
Hopefully, it carries over against the Pacers. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I had a guy. Somebody was asking me a question one time in the locker room, and he had wrote an article about another player.
Oh, jeez.
And while we was just doing locker room talk, so you're not very loud. You're kind of, hey, so, and then all of a sudden he came over, hey, mother, I heard what you. I'm like, yo, hey, can we finish up and you do this on your own time? I say, I ain't trying to break up no fights up here. He's like, bet. Me and you gonna have words when you're done. And I'm like, well, I said, well, we can't finish now because your mind ain't gonna be right because you thinking that you about to get your ass kicked. So let's just call it a day.
He's like, no, please keep talking. Please keep talking. Please keep talking.
But no, because look, I'm a firm believer that if you can say or write whatever you want about me, right? Just base it on facts, right? And that's all I like. If you say, hey, he hasn't played well, he hasn't had, he fumbled the ball too much. That's on me, right? But when you start talking about what you think or how you feel about the situation without knowing, then I have a problem with that because you're putting that stuff out there that's not accurate.
Gotta stay hydrated, champ.
Gotta stay hydrated. I mean, I'm telling you, he was moisturizing his ass off, right? But first, can I just, if I may, right? Nobody goes hands to arms. You go arms to hands because the hands require the least amount of moisturizer. So you just kind of work it down, right? You don't do your hands first and then, and then go to your arms. Your arms ain't going to get the proper moisturization. What? That's not a word?
Moisturization? Let's find out.
I don't know.
That's good.
It wasn't towards that, but
it's not whatever.
First of all, you barely need moisturizer. Not like us. Okay?
You should see these hands.
Nope, you can't tell. If I don't lube up on a daily basis, I look like Crocodile Dundee. So I got to keep moisturized.
That is getting saved. I want you to know.
I'm telling you. You just look like a gator, alligator. My skin, ashy. No, but you go arms to
very
hands.
dry skin. So I need to.
Yeah, but we can't tell. Like if I came in there with some dry skin, it'll look like I look like an alligator.
We'll take a break. Back after this.
The Panther.
from. Rain is a good thing. Rain makes corn makes whiskey.
All right, welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. We got Cats and Oil tonight. You can hear that right here on 560 WQAM. Talked a lot of bleep to Canada. I apologize for nothing.
Yeah.
I'll kick him across the cage.
That accent. Holy smokes.
I'll kick him across. You know what's the funny thing is that we ran out of time with him because he had to go on to the rest of his media tour, but I wanted to ask him. I had two questions I didn't get to him. One, two questions. One, J-Fig, I wanted to ask him, does he watch Love Island, UK?
Oh my God.
That would have been great.
Call him back up. We need to know.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go. I'll find out. I bet we can get him like during media week. I'll try and figure that out. But the other one I want to know, like when he says, "I don't understand why I couldn't make the weight." It's like when he says that about Ilya Taporia, it's like, yeah, this guy balloons up to like over 200 when he's out of camp. Like he must laugh at anybody who's like, "You can't make the weight." Look at me. Do what I want.
That picture with the girl.
That has to be Photoshop. There's no way that's real, Froggy.
The thing, no, okay, so it totally is. But the thing that they do is they slightly Photoshop him just so it seems just
it has to be. He does get believable.
It's also maybe the angle because of
no,
the,
it's
no, because he's also wearing a jacket. So
they both look pregnant.
Look, because you're thinking that it's an illusion, Leroy. It's an illusion.
Okay.
It's not. Yes.
I don't think it's an illusion.
Look, you're focusing.
The guy on the right, looks like you want to go dap him up and hug him. The guy on the left looks like you don't want no part of him.
It's the angle.
It's okay. It's a mixture of. You're right. He's wearing multiple layers. Yes,
it's cold outside.
There is. Where is it cold outside? Okay. But also there is just the internet culture just tends to slightly Photoshop him more and more.
That's not. I don't like that, dude. But that was a famous thing with Ricky Hatton back in the day. Like Ricky Hatton, they used to call him Ricky Fatten. When he was out, he was a 140 fighter, but when he was out, he would balloon up.
Ricky Fatten is pretty good.
When you're in a specific angle,
you don't remember when Ricky Hatton? No, it was a great thing. Ricky Hatton was a showman. If you guys don't remember Ricky Hatton, he was a junior. He was a junior welterweight, most famous for beating Costa Tszyu, and then he got knocked the bleep out by Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. But it was very much like Paddy the Baddy. Like they went to his fights like it was a soccer game, and you had the marching band in the stands and all that stuff. But he would balloon up in weight, and he was like 5'6", whatever. But one time he came to the ring in a fat suit. It was hilarious. Like,
okay, this is a fat suit then. But I'll say, okay.
No, he came to the ring one time He came to the ring one time in a fat suit just to go and play into the gimmick. He was a showman.
That's pretty good.
It is good.
This is amazing. And I'm assuming he won that fight.
I don't remember if he won the Fatten fight.
You know what's crazy? You don't even care. It's just like, how amazing of a moment is that you won the fight.
He got his two chances against Floyd and Manny. Against
Floyd and Manny, and he got
destroyed.
He got destroyed. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He got knocked into the ring post, and then against Pacquiao, he got flat-lined, like just sent into another stratosphere.
Because and most would think if you get knocked out by Floyd, who's not really trying to knock you out, then you definitely getting knocked out by Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, it was like Floyd's last knockout up until like I don't remember. It was, but he cooked Ricky Hatton, and that was Ricky Hatton. Like Ricky Hatton was the biggest thing going as far as that. And Floyd like played into the whole thing. He would wear the British trunks, and everybody thought that Ricky Hatton was going to bulldog Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather killed him. That's great. Look at that. Ricky Hatton. That's good. That's a great bit.
Look how little his head looks. And he looks, why does he look like he's 4'3"?
He's very tiny. No, he was very tiny.
Look at all the other people in the ring.
Yeah, he's shorter than him. What is 5'6", you said?
Yeah, he was very tiny. Let's see, 5'6", yeah.
I tell you what, it's nothing worse than the 6'1" guy that's fighting at 130. Like, enough of that.
Enough of that, Leroy. He's like Sean O'Malley, I am sick of you.
Yes.
I am sick of you. You get your ass up to a real weight class.
Like, but I don't want to see your rib cage when you're fighting.
You say Paddy is top 5 most entertaining UFC fighters right now?
I wouldn't say like he's got the most. He's definitely one of the best personalities in the sport right now. Everybody cares about what he's gonna say and what antics is he gonna get into for sure. Like
it's his fight style that kind of.
It's
no fault of his.
He's a grappler. I mean, he's a grappler. Right. He's gonna go and he's gonna try it, but he's also now he's gonna fight Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's never in a boring fight, so I got a hard time believing this one is going to be any type of boring. I'm curious to see what Chandler, because Chandler, it's funny because Chandler's got a big wrestling background. He wrestled at Missouri, but he doesn't wrestle. He just throws bombs.
Who did he fight recently? Didn't he do something where like the guy was on his back? Was it
Charles Oliveira? Yeah, he tried to fight Charles Oliveira, but and Charles kicked his ass the entire fight, and then he did like some. Macho Man or Hulk Hogan leg drop with him, and usually when it was like his last resort. And now, to be fair, he didn't get choked out because normally when you try that move where you stand up and like just jump and the guy's on your back, you're gonna normally get put to sleep, and he didn't. But he did get his ass kicked that fight.
Yeah, I remember you and all the UFC purists, the fight purists, like that doesn't do anything. He's not doing anything, and all us low IQ people are like,
well, that's the thing that makes Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's also a bit of a showman. People just they don't care about his record. He's like he said, he's won 2 UFC fights, but he's been, I think, 3 fight of the nights, 1 fight of the year, and I think he's lost all of them. But you don't care. It's like he's unbelievably entertaining.
He's one of the few fighters that will always get action, even though you don't really realize his record is not good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it's just he's there. He's there to entertain the people.
Like if Conor McGregor were to fight, you wouldn't care that he don't want to fight in 5 years.
Well, that's the thing too. Like I feel bad for Chandler because Chandler spent 2 years on the sidelines, basically waiting for Conor McGregor to stop doing cocaine, and he never did. So then he was like, "All right, I guess I'm gonna go fight Charles Oliveira because I haven't gotten a fight in 2 years because Conor McGregor can't stop doing cocaine." So eventually he's like, all right, who am I going to fight? Oh, I'm going to fight Charles Oliveira. He's one of the best fighters on the planet. Like I will say, you look at his resume, other than fighting Tony Ferguson on the downslope, he's fought Dan Hooker, Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira. Like his strength of schedule, like he's fighting in the double SEC. If it's like SEC blended with Big Ten, that's his strength of schedule in the UFC. But he's Vanderbilt.
That's what I was going to say.
But he's Vanderbilt.
So periodically he gonna beat Alabama.
Every once in a while, dude.
Every once in a while, but for the most part, yeah. And people enjoy watching him fight. Like people get excited when Michael Chandler's fighting.
Yep, it's impossible.
He's never won.
I'm a Scouser. What was he saying? He had a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rottweiler mixed with a
bulldog, right?
Bulldog. Yeah,
wow, that's a neat dog.
Very interesting mix.
And he says he's big, but he thinks he's a Chihuahua.
Is that like Dre?
No,
Dre's big.
No, I know Dre is big, but does Dre think he's big, or does he think he's smaller than he is?
Well, he doesn't actually respect personal space.
Mm-hmm. No, it sounds like he is. Yeah, he thinks he's a teacup Yorkie size. Like, oh, carry me.
He'll walk over you. I remember one time I got in bed and he was like laying in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to push him over. I'm like, hold on. So then I pushed him hard. And I'm like, what? No, By
the way, we have some news. Gregg Popovich is officially done for the season. He suffered a mild stroke, but he told the team today that he will not be coming back for the rest of the year. So we wish Gregg Popovich the best in his recovery.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, like he's what, ornery good guy?
Ornery good guy. Yeah.
Right. Like his antics, people that nobody's ever said anything negative about Pop, right? Even though if you listen to him talk, you might not necessarily like him.
Yeah, because his whole thing initially was like, oh, he's gonna, if you ask him a stupid sideline question, he'll just look at you blank and just like leave.
Right. Exactly.
You know, kind of like Belichick, but he had more charm than Belichick. I think like it was more like a little bit of smile.
Yes, Belichick. He literally because outside of all of that, he's a chatty Cathy.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing some of these videos of him at basketball games with his new squeeze. He looks tired.
He is just one of those people that he felt if he said anything or anybody on the team said anything, you're giving an advantage to the other team. So he would never say anything, do anything, whatever. The one thing I did appreciate about Bill Belichick, and every coach isn't like this, but players really respect guys that do this. We might go in a meeting and he'll run the film back and call your ass out for like 20 minutes, but he'll never do that in the media. He will never call a player out. And so from that standpoint, even though you knew there were situations where you screwed up, he wouldn't go out there and put you on blast. People respected that.
I respect you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I got to say, sometimes your antics don't really the show started off with me probably wanting to, put a couple of fingers around your neck.
That's just because you guys were 3 bullies today. That's all.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, you were a little bit though. You were
in the beginning of the show.
You were bullies. J-Fig bullied me. Marcos bullied me. And Frogboy bullied me. And New Guy bullied me.
New Guy just said your joke wasn't funny and you flipped out on him.
And now he's dead to me.
Because he didn't see. Now we understand why Marcos sucks up. Right?
Whatever you say, Tobin.
Punting.
All right, that's our show. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.
You best believe Leroy's getting the hell out of there. I'm pooping my pants.
Did you just motorboat me?
If I don't lube up on a daily basis, I look like Crocodile Dundee.
Barnett can get the f*** out of Miami, man.